Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 217th episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. Going from the South to the Mecca, this is surely one of the more iconic and overdue New York boom bap albums that came out in the 90s, and it was also the debut LP for one of the most lyrically gifted and consistent MCs in hip hop, Brooklyn's own AZ. This is another one of those legends who often has the word underrated tossed around when their name comes up, but I prefer to look at them more as if you know artists or your favorite rapper's favorite rapper kind of thing. Because personally, I think terms like underrated or underappreciated, while they definitely do have their place, can sometimes downplay an artist's accomplishments and at times almost come off like backhanded compliments. I know that isn't how it's usually intended, but the way I look at it is if you were AZ and felt pride and gratitude about your long, fruitful career, and you had so many fans that you couldn't walk around anywhere in New York without being recognized, it may feel a bit weird and shitty that some people imply, oh, he's a super talented and amazing MC, it's a shame that people don't give him his props like I do. And like I said, it isn't as if a word like underrated has no place in the genre. For example, an act like Deep Puddle Dynamics that largely helped birth the anti-con scene in the late 90s, that group could definitely be argued as underrated because they didn't sell millions of records or gain worldwide acclaim, nor did they have the dude who created Illmatic on their debut LP, which isn't something you can say about Doe or Die here. In fact, AZ famously kind of made his debut as the sole feature on Illmatic. Nas pops up a number of times on this album, which is hardly a negative, despite some people occasionally referring to Doe or Die as Illmatic 2, which I think is slightly reductive, but to be fair, there are definitely certain similarities in things like flow, lyrical substance, and choices of production. This relationship between two master MCs would eventually stem into The Firm, a late 90s supergroup of sorts comprised of Nas, AZ, Cormega, and Foxy Brown. The debut LP that outfit released didn't exactly live up to expectations, but the members still had timeless tracks together on Nas projects like It Was Written or King's Disease, and practically every member released classic solo material in their own respective careers. Do or Die is a perfect example of starting your first studio album off with a bang, as AZ really dishes out some top tier verses on Uncut Raw, the track following the brief yet cinematic intro, which, along with skits, was pretty much standard for 90s hip hop albums. He gives us nothing but fire right from the jump, spinning. Life is a struggle. That's why people I know stay on the juggle. Some hustle to double, others hug you to mug you. Poverty stricken, they even turn a church kid into stickin'. It seems sickening, but what? Whatever makes the pockets thicken. Fuck police and no remorse for the beasts that's lost on the streets that pistol whip a priest for a cross piece. Some lost sheep running through strips, thinking of top dealers filling tech clips with cop killers that could stop gorillas, shoving a snub nose in buttholes. I'm nutso, schizo, klepto, killing shit up through the metro. My thug essence will always keep me plugged with drug investments. Sketch my reference, taking papers considered preference. And violations will lead to kidnapping, decapitation. So what you're facing is realism that's in the activation. Living off land with five honeys playing my hand. Me and fam sipping off Guinness stouts and eating clams. There's something about AZ's voice where his higher tone just sounds like it was made for rapping. And then when you add on the fact that he's an amazing lyricist with dense flow patterns, it's hard to say that he's anything other than the total package as an artist. AZ has also stayed extremely consistent throughout his long spanning career, keeping the standards for his discography high even after his debut release here for the most part, from 1997's Pieces of a Man, another personal favorite of mine, to Do or Die 2 back in 2022, or even last year with Truth Be Told. One other track I want to share some lines from is Mo Money, Mo Murder, which also has one of my favorite instrumentals on the entire LP. And this same sample would be reworked and rapped over again a few years down the line by Dipset on Diplomatic Immunity. We also get one of the killer guest appearances I was referencing earlier on this track by Nas, but as much as he shows out on this track as well, I have to share from one of AZ's top tier verses, where he says, "Yo, done. Before the sun set, call connect, get all the texts. I'm vexed. This rapper soft as sex. Lost respect, let's off his neck. My caliber got me thinking on a higher algebra. See me, I'm just as foul as ya, but you ain't got no style in ya. I'm into bigger cheddar, G's and better, Amarettas, Armani sweaters, plus these crabs could never dead us." Then a little later on this song, he arguably one-ups that verse with, "Now you're forced to listen. I got the mind of a grad from Princeton. Play your position, or soon you'll be lost and missing. It's far from fiction. My presence is like that of a Christian with ammunition putting states under submission. Street addiction got me tied in thorough with burros still in the ghetto, but in the cut where it's mellow. Incognito, on the Lilo, like Carlito, 'cause we know people don't really want us to see dough. You never know, it might just be your time to take your ride. To them pearly white gates, watch that suicide." I've discussed how Nas has multiple guest appearances on this album, but he's joined by a few other talented names, like Miss Jones, Amar Pep, and Barsham. Meanwhile, the top-tier production on this classic is handled by veterans like Luce, Buckwild, DR Period, LES, Amar Pep, N.O. Joe, Ski, and Lunatic Mind. For my honorable mentions on here, I want to shout out tracks like Gimme Yours, Ho Happy Jackie, Rather Unique, I Feel For You, the title track, Your World Don't Stop, and We Can't Win. When it comes to my top 3 favorite songs overall on Do or Die, I would definitely have to go with Sugar Hill, Uncut Raw, and Mo Money, Mo Murder, or Homicide. Thank you for watching my 217th video. Next up, we're coming back over to the West Coast to discuss a legendary MC from the Liquid Crew. So check for that upload, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moments off this boom bap masterpiece are. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.
Look, the key to my soul is locked in the cage it opens. The framework was made from my own rib. Q, what came first, the crack or the crack lighter? Whichever one the first fiend used to bring back fire.